Hello there, this is Rom coming back at you with yet another video. A man's height is only a problem if he allows it to be. And I'm capitalizing he allows it to be. And I'm going to tell you what, because on my Deep Thought channel, I did a video and somebody came on there talking about his height and all of that and on some negative ass shit. Man, I was just like, and there's a couple things I wanted to point out today because I've said ad nauseum about, short statured dudes getting theirs and everything. And, doing something in life. They ain't letting that height stop them. I said, you know what? I'm going to use myself for an example in a way. Now, first of all, I'll use myself as an example because let's just be real. A lot of people think I'm like anywhere from 5'5" to 5'8". Okay. Actually taller than that. I'll get into that later, right? In fact, it's kind of funny. People have, when people see me in the real world, they always say the same damn thing. You taller than I thought you was. Okay. But let's say hypothetically I was between 5'5" and 5'8", right? Obviously, that's not stopping me from doing anything, right? Obviously, people need to think about that. It was like, still got my channels, still got my books, still did a lot, still got a couple of degrees, both undergraduate and graduate degrees, still working for myself, got books on the market, doing all this stuff. Not once did I say, oh, well, let's just think. If you think I'm like that height, did I let it stop me from doing anything? Did I let it stop me from making money? Anything like that, right? Just think. If you think that's what I am, apparently it didn't stop me. Have you heard one video, just one, where I was complaining? Or one video where I was saying, oh, well, these women, they just like that height, something wrong with them, and they need to give short guys like me a chance. You ain't heard me say that one time. Well, first of all, common sense should say I don't have a problem with that, but I'm still able to do something. I'm still able to make money and everything, because you can stay on make, unless you trying to play in the NBA. Your height don't make a big deal, and even then, you had some short-statured players in there who were really kicking ass. A couple of them could dunk. They ain't give a shit. And shoot, I remember back in the day, you had Muggsy Bogues. Now that dude was 5'3", still played in the NBA. In fact, in high school, he played at Goodbar in Baltimore, and he had all these, future NBA players, college players, and stuff. But he was a point guard. He was running shit. Now he ain't say anything. He was a starter. He was the starter on this team that had some serious players. He didn't give a fuck. He had the right mindset. That's the first thing, right? Now, of course, my actual height isn't like between 5'5" and 5'8". Like my morning height when I get up, first thing in the morning, if I like measure myself, because I actually have a measuring thing, because I had something in there when my sons were growing up, instead of like scratching stuff on the wall or something old school. So, and I had measured myself a couple of weeks ago and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, because I thought I had lost a few millimeters, but usually if anybody like measures their height during the day, gravity took over or something like that, So, you don't be tripping. You be like, oh, okay, whatever. Now, my actual height barefoot is between 5'11" and 5'10.5. Depends on what time of day, right? Now, I'm giving that because somebody will say, well, you still taller than average or something. Yeah, but two things. One, I'm not 6 feet. Two, despite what women say, I've hooked up with women who were the exact same height, 5'10", 5'11", 6 feet. In fact, I just saw a brother in the gym. Let me shout him out, brother Nate. I was just telling him, I told him I was going to do this video. And I was talking about some Amazons, man. Oh my goodness. Because I hooked up with some I would have hooked up with if I wasn't married, or they weren't married. But those 5'10" women, because you know how some guys be thinking, oh, you gotta be 6 feet and all of that. Well, that didn't stop me, because my mindset was I was trying to get up in them. Ain't nothing like one of those like 5'10", 5'11", 6 feet women who got a big old butt dunk on them. And they got their asses just waving in the air. Oh my God. Shoot. There's one now probably in her 70s if I run into her. I ain't gonna lie. She's about 5'10", had that big round ass. Oh my goodness. I probably wouldn't even care. What's the age? Age just a number. Shit. My point was, I wasn't like looking at them thinking, oh, they're taller than average. They would want some guy all taller. And we talking about recent. Shit, I know a woman, she's 6 feet. She over 6 feet. She's at least 6 feet. If she ain't had that ring on her finger, I'd be all up in her. You know. Gotta respect the ring. But she got that ring on her finger. I was like, oh, okay. But shoot, they didn't give a fuck. And, you know, she's actually very friendly too. But see, here's the thing now. It's all about the mindset. Like when I was dealing with women like my height, my actual height, I didn't give a fuck. They had a fat ass, I was on them. Shit, some of them threw it at me. Shoot, met a couple women. Shoot, they some like 5'10" woman, got that big round butt. Shit. But one thing though, I saw this video. These women were talking about a lot of times that when they dealt with a guy who was shorter than them, it was the guy tripping, not them. They ain't have a problem. And see, that's why I say it's all up in the man's mind, you know, what he's thinking about, you know, because women, get some women, they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. In fact, I'm gonna share that video I mentioned to brother Nate about this video about this little guy hollering at this woman. I'll share it again in the description box. He ain't give a fuck. This was a legitimate dwarf. Well, technically, I think you call them little people or something. All right. Whatever the case, he didn't give a fuck. He didn't give a fuck. It's all up in a man's mind. Now, see, you got some guys up there, they get caught up like, oh, I'm only this height, I'm this height, you know. Even some dudes who ain't 6 feet, they might be 5'10" or 5'11", tripping. You are what you are. You are what you are. You can't give a fuck. Because first of all, fuck the height. It don't matter what it is with the woman. Like I said, I don't have a problem. I can think of a couple. Shoot, there was even shit. There was one woman, she had a boyfriend now. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't give a fuck anyway. A married woman, I'm like, a woman with a boyfriend, yeah, you might have an opening and shit. But she was 5'10" and stuff. But she had a nice round booty and shit. And it was interesting, even though we were close to the same height, she thought I was actually still a few inches taller than her. She thought I was like 6'2" or something. But see, here was the thing though. Here was the thing. When I saw those women, those taller women, those Amazons and shit, I ain't give a fuck. I ain't give a fuck. Like, whatever your height, you can't give a fuck. You don't want to be hurting it. Now, of course, you get some women online or wherever talking about they want a tall man, but Think about the video I did yesterday. A woman can reject you off of anything. She can reject you, man. She can reject you. She don't like your eye color. She can reject you because your teeth too straight. You know, you look too good. There's always, you can't trip over it. You can't trip. So even if a woman say, well, you know, I prefer somebody taller, be like, whatever. Okay. Because even on that balloon pop show, there'd be some women, they'll reject one guy because he was a certain height, but then be all smiley, or as C Boogie would say, teethy around some other man, and I'll be looking at him like, well, he's the same height as that other man. But it's all in the attitude and everything. Shoot. It's all in your attitude, how you thinking, all of that. You can't give a fuck. Because you can't give a fuck over, especially something like height. Now, that's getting real crazy. I've said this numerous times before, but it's all in your mind. Like, whatever your height, don't you still want to make money out this motherfucker and be successful, do whatever? What that got to do with anything? Shit, even if you want to play in the NBA and shit, yeah, it'd be easier if you like 7 feet. But there's some players who they weren't, and they still did their thing. Shoot, even some of those players, shoot, there's been some 5'8" players been doing some stuff in college and shit. Whatever. They just still did their thing wherever. Because usually, even when they put up, even if they give you their height, take away about 2 inches. Just take away 2 inches. I remember there was a few players at my undergrad, St. Joseph's, in recent years. They would be listed at 6 feet or something. I'd automatically take a height thing away. You know? Like, I knew this guy when I was in school. Shoot, he listed his height as 5'9". And I saw that dude post up somebody who was 6'8". I'll never forget that. That dude got down low and posted his ass up. Posted his ass up. He didn't give a fuck. Look, you can't let whatever your height is, you can't trip over what some women saying. First of all, they online, they be smiling. You don't know whether to take them seriously or not. And even if they are serious, okay, whatever. You got an abundance of women out here. You got an abundance of women out here. You know? All of them ain't tripping that way. All of them are not tripping. And even if they are, there's somebody who ain't. Shoot. There's somebody who ain't. I remember a couple years ago, I dealt with like 2 or 3 women, shit, with shoes on their height be like 5 feet. Whatever. But if I run into some 5'10", 5'11" woman, and she got that big old butt done, boom. Shoot, at the gym, there's a taller woman and stuff. If only reason she be smiling all friendly and you be like, hey, I'd still say, hey. You know, I can't, I don't want to tell her, yeah, the only reason I ain't even friendlier, you don't have that butt done. She got a flat ass. If you got that, if a woman, look, hold up. Let me stop something. If I run into a 5'10", 5'11" woman, got a nice ass, oh my God. You get that big thing waving in the air and stuff. Like I said, I've dealt with some women who were tall, man. Oh my God. There was one I dealt with back in the day, back in the 90s. I still think about her sometimes. I be like, damn, I wonder what she done. She was 5'10". She was 5'10". Another one, man, she was 5'10", a little bit taller than me when she put on some heels. I ain't give a fuck. You know why? Because it was up here. It's all about your mindset. If you allow whatever your height is to stop you, because you only got so much control over that shit. First of all, that shit is genetic. Now, yeah, you got some people talking about, well, if you stretch and all of this, and you get, you be out in the sun, they be saying all this shit. You're only going to go so far. The best you can do is make sure you stand straight up and have a posture. And even then, you still might not get there. You might not get there. And, that's all right. You got to have the mindset. You got to be like, look, you're going to get yours anyway. Because, like I talked about making money at first, right? Because, like I said, you got some dudes, they probably think I'm this height, or I'm like, well, I'm still making my money, though. Am I letting that stop me from doing anything? And that's how you got to think. Are you letting it stop you? No, you can't let it stop you. Heck, I've met some, like, short-statured dudes in person doing some shit. They got some shit going on. They might even watch this. They got some shit going on. Meanwhile, you got some dudes over 6 feet up there crying. What was that one? I ain't gonna mention the event, but it was a dude up there. I was feeling bad. Had some short-statured dudes kicking ass and shit, being all confident. Meanwhile, some dude over 6 feet up there crying. And I ain't jump on his case. I was actually nice. I'm usually not, but I was actually nice and stuff. Comforting the dude and shit. Saying, nah, man, you don't have to do all of that. Because and I've said this before, it comes down to your mindset. Your mindset. What's on your mind? You gotta do your thing. And then when you're talking about women, you don't give a fuck. Shoot. You don't give a fuck. A woman will want you, well, she'll want you regardless. Because one thing that really hits women is confidence. Like I said, I've actually known some women, they prefer a short-statured man, and they said it too. Each time the woman said it, they said because he's going to go, despite everything, he's going to still do his thing. He's going to be confident. Because you can't do anything about stuff. Shoot, I remember, like, in my social circles, the first dude around my age who was a teenage father, man, he was only about 5'5". That dude didn't give a fuck. Anybody's read my book, Nice Guys and Players, when you talk about Jim. Like I said, that dude 5'8". He didn't give a fuck. And that's the only difference. That's the only difference. When you get some guys who just don't give a fuck regardless, it's all in their mind. They don't let that stop them. And yeah, there'll probably be a woman say, oh, you too short or whatever. I'm going to tell you something with that too. Sometimes women will do that because they know to fuck with somebody's head. If you giving a vibe off like you're not comfortable with your height, like you out here, you ain't comfortable with who you are and stuff, women will do that. It's the same way women will try to talk about your dick if they feel like it's gonna fuck with you. Now I knew this one dude, he was loud about it. He said, man, and this was a dude over 6 feet, and he was in a barber shop I used to go to way back in the day. He said, shit, I don't give a fuck. I got 3 inches. I'll just whip that shit out. He didn't give a fuck. Like, when you going through life, you just gotta play the hand that you dealt. You gotta play the hand that you dealt. You can't be worrying about some shit, especially height. Now, you got a bigger problem if you allowing that to hurt you, or you feeling like, that's holding you back, or people picking with you. That's on your mind. Because I'm going to tell you what, and it was never about height, because I was always one of the bigger kids in class. I was called Big Ron for a reason, But there was other shit. I used to get picked on like crazy when I was young. Never height, but some other shit. But then, like I said, I just learned not to give a fuck. Like I was saying yesterday in the video, just, fix up, do your best, and then just keep going. Because like I said, a woman, she always going to find something. She always going to find something. In fact, I'm going to tell you something now. If a woman says anything to you or about you to fuck with your head and you just like, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. And you just like, okay, or act like the shit didn't fuck with you. All of a sudden she's thinking, she's like, oh, damn. She started getting wet and shit because of your confidence. But if women think you got some weakness or something, they'll go for it. Anybody will. You know, you gotta go for it. You gotta go for it regardless. You can't be caught up in all this bullshit. Seriously. And it pissed me off. No, it does piss me off when you get some men caught up in that shit. Because some of the biggest players I've known, some of the most successful men I've known, shit, they weren't 6 feet. And they were successful in their lives, whatever they were doing, making money, and also getting pussy. Like I said, there's a married woman in my gym. If she wasn't married in my gym, I had mentioned her weeks ago. If she wasn't married, the most I can get from her is a high. She about 5'4", her husband about 5'6". Do you think that motherfucker, he got his own business? You think he give a fuck? He be wearing his business shit in there sometime. You think he give a fuck? Seriously, there's a lot of guys doing that. Like, it's up to you. It don't matter what anybody else say. You give a fuck about what somebody say online? I don't give a fuck what they say. You know? I don't give a fuck what they do on, what they say on these things. If you let that shit fuck with you, yeah, it's gonna fuck with you. But you can't give a fuck. You gotta go and do what you wanna do. Shit. You gotta do what you wanna do because, like, your height, you really can't control that. You really can't naturally control it. Right? And your weight, you can control that a little bit better, but some people still, they might have some trouble with that. But you can control your mindset, dealing with what you got, living with what you got. Fuck all the bullshit. And I do mean bullshit. You are what you are. And if somebody don't like it, they don't like it. They don't like it. Fuck them. Tell them to suck your motherfucking dick if they got a problem with it. No, I'm serious. You don't worry about it. You can't worry about it out here in this world. Because you are what you are, whatever you got. You know? And plus, I'm going to tell you what, man. The way things going, man, the next big thing will be over some body weight or something like that. I'll be doing videos like this again. Yeah, you can't. I'm going to tell you something. Just in life, man. You got to just say, you going to make it. Whatever you plan on doing, you just got to do it. Fuck all the bullshit, all right? Seriously. So I want y'all to think about that. And you know what? I'm saying this now. Every time I think this will be the last time I do it, somebody going to say some shit or do some shit. And if you on my shit, first of all, you got to just deal with what you got. I want to, if you're going to, like, complain. Well, see, here's the thing to think about. And I'm going to say this again, and even though I don't want to, I'll probably end up doing it again and again because so many dudes hung up on it. Like I said, I know some short-statured dudes, they kicking ass. Got a badass woman. Shit. Just thinking about this one dude, man. This dude had this badass little honey and stuff. Asian dude. That dude, she was about 5 foot. He was about 5'2". And she ain't give a fuck. He ain't give a fuck. Alright? So that's how it is. You can't give a fuck out in this building. You cannot give a fuck. Alright? Go get yours. All right, regardless. He got his. And see, you got some motherfuckers, they still gonna do what they gonna do. That's the mindset you gotta have. If somebody your height is doing something out here, they doing something. That means if they can do it, that means you can do it. Or at least their height didn't stop them. That means your height shouldn't stop you. All right? So anyway, that's all I got for today. I'll get back with y'all. Peace.